If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back, civilians, to the home of elevation, growth, and experience. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, I am the civilized woman.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're the best financial, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my three younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. And you just heard Carmela Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, speak. Now, this press conference, and that's what our this video is going to be about today. It's going to be about the press conference from the Anthony family. Was about 30 minutes long. It actually started late because Jeffrey Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, was at the press conference. Of what it looks like is that he was not invited. He just kind of showed up. I'm not really sure how he found out about it. Maybe they announced it. I'm assuming they did announce it, but he was there. Um, I would think that it probably would not be a good idea for them to be in the same space at this point. I'm sure they're going to see each other in the courtroom whenever or if this goes to trial. So I don't think that it would have been it was advantageous for him to be there. I think thank God it ended peaceably because they ended up like 40 minutes later the police came and escorted him off the property where the press conference was happening. It really could have been a disaster because I'm sure he has a lot of emotions, as I would imagine anybody would, losing a child. And then you have the other parents on the other end who has a child that is facing some serious trouble. And so I'm not sure why he was there, and I'm glad he was able to leave peaceably. It didn't turn into another issue, but I think some may feel like he has a right to be wherever he wants to be because he's the one that lost his son. I will say though, it's just very, very important that, as all possible, in my opinion, that cooler heads need to really prevail because this case is there's an unfortunate divide that is coming with this case, and it's along racial lines, and it's very unfortunate because the reality is that either of these families could be in each other's position. Unfortunately, these were both teenage boys. They were both athletes. We don't have all the information of yet as to whether or not what transpired to get us to where we are today. And I think the idea that seeing comments on the internet like there's the lack of compassion, understanding, and humility, or even thinking that you could potentially be in this situation. These families are not families that look like they raised children that would have been in the situation that they're in. And I'll focus on the Anthony family because they're the ones that had their press conference today, and they have not shown up to any conferences. I feel like the Metcalf family have spoken a lot more to the public, and they've also spoken for themselves, which I think is endearing and is necessary. And although this press conference was 30 minutes, the part that I have in this video to me was the most important part. And that was hearing from the family of Karmelo Anthony, and being reminded, that, he's also a young man who finds himself in an unfortunate situation. On the other, it just is just unfortunate all the way around. And I don't like how the tone and the tenor of what is being done here. I will say the gentleman that is supposed to be the spokesperson for the family, Dominique Alexander, who is with the Next Generation Action Network. I did not care for him. In all sincerity, I did not care for him. Not only did I find him not to be necessary, I think that he really potentially did more harm than good. He spent most of that press conference talking about himself and his organization, which is a social justice organization in Dallas, Texas. And this was not the time for that. This was the time that we needed to hear from the family. We needed to hear their perspective, and hearing this mother cry out and just talk about what their family is going through, and just hearing people say, oh, well, they deserved it. They should have raised their son better. I mean, I am not a parent, but I have a gang of nieces and nephews, and I know the household that I come from, and those Bamas will do what they gonna do regardless of what upbringing they have. So the assumption that somebody can be from, like, something must be wrong, or the parents must have did something either way that got their kids to where they are. Yes, there's nature versus nurture, and absolutely true that environment is going to be an indicator of how a kid behaves. But by all accounts, this young man, Carmelo Anthony, up to this point has really been a model citizen. So I would think that the parents did a pretty good job if they got him to 17 years, and this is the first time. Now it's a doozy of a trouble that he's in, but they got him to this point where he is academically strong. He's an athlete. He's a role model. He saved, at the age of 14, he saved somebody's life at the age of 10. So I think if you just saw this on paper, you didn't know about the other situation, you would probably have speak highly of the young man. So it's very unfortunate that people are turning it into, like, you don't. I mean, those of y'all who are parents in particular, you can't tell me that your kids don't do things that you necessarily didn't bring them up with, but they find themselves in a particular situation. So it's just very unfortunate. But I'll get back to this Dominique Alexander. You know, unfortunately, when situations like this happen, you have people who, instead of being an agent of aid, they are opportunists. Now, I don't know him and I'm not ascribing that to him, but there are times in unfortunate situations where you can have grifters from the victim side, grifters from the perpetrator side, grifter who find their way to interject themselves into a situation to seize the moment and seize the opportunity. And it is clear to me anyway that watching this press conference, particularly to me, the press conference is the part where the mother spoke. That, to me, the rest of it is ancillary, to be honest with you, because that's the only thing I cared about. It is clear that these people, they're desperate, they are scared, they are it's a cry for help. So there is almost looking like at this point they're kind of accepting help from any direction, and I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do, because I have to be honest again that this Dominique Alexander with this Next Generation Action Network did not impress me at all, and it just came across as he was more focused on pubbing his organization and using this spotlight to bring more ears and eyes to his organization than actually helping this family express themselves and convey what they needed to convey. We don't know why Mr. Metcalf showed up to the press conference, but I would tell you that starting off that press conference expressing your opinion when you know very good and well you were supposedly there to be a spokesperson for the family, and talk about how disrespectful it was. And I'm not saying that it could not be seen that way, but that was not the time. Everything needed to be focused on that family and that young man who finds himself in an unfortunate situation. And that was not the case. I felt like he took away from their opportunity to really be able to talk about their family and talk about their son, which I have seen the Metcalfs have plenty more opportunities, have taken more opportunities to be able to do so. So that was my takeaway from the press conference. I'm debating as to whether or not I want to go deeper into this gentleman who is supposedly the spokesperson for the family. Some things have kind of come across my eye that I may do something with that, but I don't want to do anything that's going to take away from, I guess, what he's trying to do with the family if it is all positive. But that is all for now. Again, the press conference about 30 minutes. The clip I got was from WFAA, and I believe that's probably somewhere in Dallas. But you can go on YouTube and find the full thing if you want to see the full thing. But I'm telling you right now, this part right here, because the father didn't speak. It's for me. You can take my word for it or not. These 4 minutes that I captured is probably the part that you really would care about. So y'all let me know your thoughts. We need to continue, in my opinion, to be compassionate and be very gentle and very just really watch how we approach this, because it's very sensitive, and we need to continue to wait as the facts are unfolded. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.